So that was quite a bitter pill to swallow, wasn't it? And now we woke up in a rather familiar environment. That's strange, so let me talk about this for a bit. Most importantly, we went through relatively great efforts rewriting parts of the original concept for the third installment, Goodbye Deponia. We didn't have to do that with the first two parts. Those pretty much played out as initially written, even if 5 years had passed when production of Goodbye Deponia started.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I felt like Cary Grant during the filming of North by Northwest, but I think I mentioned that already.
We had a bunch of ideas how to illustrate Rufus' lowest low, and originally we wanted it to play out on the coast of Port Fisca. He was supposed to be washed on the shore of a familiar screen from part 2, where we met Goon, for example, for the first time, and could wallow in some misery. Yeah, but that was the old concept. It would have been too short, not matching the scope and depth of the other two installments, so I took my time, about half a year, to rewrite and extend this part, and this is one of the scenes, and one of the best I might add, that turned out to be a whole new addition to the game. The idea was to let Rufus hit his lowest low, and after all, what would be truly hell for him? Exactly, to bring him back into the tutorial room, which, by the way, was the idea of my girlfriend Anne. Yeah, I thought that this idea was pure gold, since we'd also cast more light on the tutorial room, which is kind of peculiar. The room appears time and again, and Rufus assumes already it must be some nightmare scenario. So ending up in that room must lead Rufus to the conclusion that he actually died and that this must be hell. Adding more to that, Rufus can't even describe this properly. Another idea transported into the concept, as I wanted to take away his comment-specific eloquence to show he's down and out. So he refuses to talk. He's absolutely not in the mood to comment on anything. Instead, all we get are very sighs. I bet this was quite a challenge in terms of acting, right, Rufus?
Well, let's just say it was a smart move to keep me quiet in this scene. Otherwise, I might have actually had to resort to singing. Because if you look at this room, the first thing that comes to mind is chanson. You know the French term? Chanson. The decoration and lighting heavily reminds me of the chanson. You know, oh, hey, we're on our way to Barcelona brothels, on our way, oh, hey, you know. But fortunately, I wasn't actually allowed to sing in that scene. Well... Huh? Oh. Well... Ouch. Huh. Well... What? Huh. Ah! Ah!
I don't want to spoil too much for you, as I don't know in which phase of the game you actually clicked this. Yeah, that's always a tough call I have to make. I just don't know what you people are doing at this moment you clicked, or what you are about to do, and that's why I want to direct your attention to these glorious construction robots in the foreground, who, and I'm very proud of that, are 100% and only superficially polished, based on my sketches. Yeah, colors included. Yeah, they're completely the same as in my sketches. I always like to draw robots and machines with all kinds of absurd joints and all that. Really like to draw that stuff. And colorimetry is also a major thing in Deponia. Usually we have a spectrum of 3 colors, red, blue and green. And if you paid attention, you noticed that these are the colors of the borders of the box cover as well. Red is part 1, blue is part 2, and green is part 3. And these colors also reflect in the... well, yeah, you know that by now. Argus is another Rufus. What? What's going on here? Where am I? I just don't get it. Right. Yeah, and these 3 colors also correspond with those 3 versions of Rufus. Rufus, Cletus, Argus. In a way you may yet have to discover. Enjoy that. Yes, red, blue and green, 3 primary colors. What the big deal? I actually don't know. It's some visual leitmotif in any case, and I didn't even put that much thought into it. That's a bit awkward.
Huh. Stupid disassembly robot. It's his own fault. Ugh. Huh, must be the famous light at the end of the tunnel. Light at the end of the tunnel. It's only an illuminated button. Ah! This isn't hell after all. It's some kind of factory, and a crappy one at that. Could this mean that I'm not dead after all? Can somebody explain what's going on? Ah, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Hey, you! Stop! Wait! Don't move! I demand some answers! Oh, rats.
Abandoned factories have something very monumental about them. Not looking at them is pretty hard. It's surprising that there aren't more accidents happening when you drive to Hamburg, for example. You have that Freeport, and to your right is this colossal hulk of an old factory. And since it's so far away, you still can't grasp the size of that thing. At nightfall, they switch on the lights and give the Moloch a genuine hardcore Ridley Scott sci-fi flick look. I just can't take my eyes off that. A lot more accidents should happen there. Maybe that is the reason why the Elb Tunnel is closed so often. There are a lot of those factories, actually. Mostly near freeways, since land prices are lower there, or nobody cares if toxic clouds loom over the region. Don't know. These kind of things are more annoying in or near towns, I reckon. People in cars don't deserve any better anyway. I don't know why there aren't more accidents, but due to all this factory here kinda didn't live up to my expectations. Admittedly, that's also a result of the puzzle mechanics involved. There are a lot of puzzle components that interfere with free background design here that prevented us from doing something truly colossal with this factory, like I had in mind. Pity, really, but there's still this flare of rust, and at least we don't have any accidents in the screen. Another thing I need to mention here is my unending gratitude for Heiner, another Daedalic scripter. He's actually part of another team, but he, Alex from my team, and Ede, who's a spider in our network of projects, form the make force of this company. That means whenever things get rough and we need some serious crunching, that is, time is running out and there's still a lot to do, those three jump into their superhero costumes and save the day and the game. And Goodbye Deponia was the first project where I had the honor to directly witness our make forces might with Heiner at their side, and yet again they saved us. There was an endless tide of little bugs in the screen we all had no explanation for, and Heiner fixed all of them. And how did he do that? He redid the whole thing from scratch. Yes, the whole damn screen. Awesome guy. Our Heiner.
Time to clock out yet? Time to clock out yet? Oh, it's just one obstacle after another. Huh. Yeah. Yeah.
And here the game meanders a bit into ecotrophology. I have a latent knack for nutrition science myself. Those who know me well, though, also know that when they want proper nutrition advice, they should travel to Australia or a similar place with the equator running between them and me. As my best nutrition advice mostly refers to increase your chocolate per coffee ratio. By the way, I lost some weight during the last month. Yeah. You can't see that right now, but I really did. It's probably an age thing, but I also get a few pro tips from some nice vegans I know. They illustrated what is wrong with my nutrition. In retrospect, I get the impression that I should have died long ago due to my excessive calorie abuse. Life and food are, of course, tightly connected, and so the theme here is more like an ecotrophology theme tapping into the field of philosophy and less a pure ecotrophologic matter. And while the connection between lifestyle and nutrition is evident, the theme of this chapter is clearly of philosophical nature. This is illustrated by the example of the olives. That's why we have an olive-colored background. You have my sincere gratitude. I really can't believe you are still listening to this bull thingy yet again.
Not that I really know a lot about olives, but these are obviously not ripe yet. They're still totally green. The bag says soybeans, but all it contains is little white pellets. It's probably a colony of roaches. I'm usually not that picky when it comes to waste oil, but this has gone kind of green, and it smells of olives. Ugh, disgusting. It's definitely gone bad. This water looks totally different from the water at home. It's fizzy, and it's not green. There are more effective ways of hacking something to pieces. That doesn't make sense when it's empty. Empty and useless, like the way I feel. What am I supposed to do with this? It's empty. End of story. Oh, I can't believe it! He's bolted the door from the outside, but that's not gonna stop me. If this is the kitchen, I must be in hell. If this is the kitchen, I must be in hell. I do feel pretty hot under the collar, but I'm sure I'll find a better way to let off steam. If this is the kitchen, I must be in hell. If this is the kitchen, I must be in hell. This isn't going to make it any tastier. This isn't going to make it any tastier. Genius. Oils well that ends well. If this is the kitchen, I must be in hell. I'm sure I could open the door with this, but that would be too easy. Not brutal enough. Door, meet Rufus! Hey! Hello! Quit playing games with me!
Oh, I've got company. How nice.
Nothing is nice here.
But you know you're alive again. Isn't that fantastic?
No, it's not. I should be dead.
Calm yourself. How about a cup of peppermint tea? It's relaxing and refreshes your breath. There's nothing better when you've only just come back from the dead.
I don't need no stinking peppermint. I want answers. Where am I?
Welcome to my humble abode.
You live here?
Nice place, huh? This used to be the facility where the Organon was created. A clone factory, in fact.
Ugh, it looks more like a waste processing plant.
Actually, that's what it is. You need plenty of organic material in order to clone people.
You're telling me that the Dark Exchequer consists of biological waste?
I'd be a little less condescending if I were you, Prototype R.
Proto what? Oh yeah, prototype yourself.
I didn't mean to offend you, Rufus.
You know my name?
Of course I do. I'm the one who gave it to you.
What are you saying?
I admit it's not the most creative name I ever came up with. You're one of a series of prototypes that predated the mass production of the Organon. Only 3 of them survived. Prototype A, Prototype C, and you. Prototype R.
A and C, Argus and Cletus?
And R, as in Rufus, exactly. Rufus stands for red-haired. I thought I could tell you apart by the colour of your hair, but I never managed to create hair colours that lasted beyond puberty. Unfortunately, that wasn't the only flaw. All the prototypes had problems before I came up with the right composition. The clones were designed as dispensable workers, so I took away your respect for life. Unfortunately, that also meant that many of you were not afraid of death. There were various accidents.
Who the crap are you?
My name is Hermes. I used to be the head of this clone facility.
You've got to be incredibly old.
Technically speaking, I've only lived for 2 days. I clone myself anew on a regular basis. Keeps me young, but my genes are old. The intervals keep getting shorter.
Why don't you just die?
Why would I want to? I feel absolutely fine.
That's not what you look like. Why can't you just accept it? Your life has run its course.
On the contrary, I'm in top shape. Could you, for a moment... Thank you. Now, where was I?
You're amazingly fit.
Ah, yes, exactly. As a fiddle.
Why didn't you let me die?
You were dead, strictly speaking. I cloned your...
Yeah, but why? I deserve to be dead.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one should be dead on a beautiful day like this.
This isn't a beautiful day. I screwed it all up.
Whoa! Got a bit of a guilt complex, have we? No matter what you've done, get over it. Life goes on.
You call this life? This isn't life. This is a cheap copy of life. A counterfeit. An artificially created imitation.
Oh, nothing here is artificial. All my clones are made from organically grown materials.
Didn't you say you found the ingredients in the garbage?
Biological waste, organic, 100% natural. Oh, except for the nucleic acid. That is synthesized from radioactive sludge.
It's not true!
Yes, it is.
But it can't be! I'm not like the Organons!
I never claimed you were. It's true that your genes are almost identical. You have no respect for life, but you have one thing that they lack completely.
Sex appeal.
Hope.
Yeah, and sex appeal, right? I'm not like Cletus or Argus.
Of course not. Cletus originally had green hair, and Argus blue.
But I wasn't thinking of hair. Look, they're conniving backstabbers, while I'm just totally trustworthy. They're arrogant and conceited, but I'm super modest. They're evil assholes, and I'm just too wonderful for...
Just stop right there, Rufus. Rufus, you're not identical because you are much more than just the sum of your genes. All your experiences, all your memories add up to form the person you are today.
You mean we once were completely identical? Only I was capable of learning from my failures?
Yes, that's it. Well, close enough, at least. In your case, the gene for learning from your failures wasn't rendered correctly, but the rest is true.
Wait, if I'm a clone, wouldn't I have to be very young now?
A surprisingly good question. See those containers over there? In them, I simulate the natural process of aging.
So you can choose the age of your clones?
Exactly.
Then why do you look like shit?
Don't be so rude.
Okay, I'm a clone, right? So why am I still wearing the same coat?
Seriously? Oh, not a clothes business again. I create life, for crying out loud. You should think that everyone would be totally astounded by that fact. But no! Everyone always asks about the outfit.
Oh, well, excuse me. Okay, if I'm a clone, why do I remember everything?
Oh, you're paying attention.
Of course I'm paying attention.
That wasn't really intended in your design, but, oh well, the technology is quite simple. I can use a full body scanner like this one to create and save a copy of your entire neural network. In those cloning chambers over there, the newly formed neural pathways are trimmed into the right shape by teeny tiny knives during the maturation process. The process resembles pruning a bonsai tree. The difference being, of course, that the brain is much more complex and it takes mere nanoseconds to cut.
Sorry, what was that after intended in your design?
Never mind.
It was all for nothing. Deponia's lost, and so's goal, and it's all my fault. Why carry on with this rotten life?
Because there is still hope. Life goes on.
Life goes on. And how will you make sure of that? Are you going to use that contraption to clone all of Deponia? I'll show you what I think of your stupid machine.
No, Rufus. No, Rufus, don't do that.
Stop me if you can.
Ouch! Cut it out! Don't!
Take that!
Not the machine! Hey! Hey! Stop it! No!
There! Ha ha ha! Your turn!
What have you done? You destroyed everything. This means it was all for nothing.
You've got it at last!
You were right about everything, except for one little matter. It is all my fault. It was me who, way back when, believed that Deponia was no longer inhabitable. And I came up with the evacuation plan. I designed Elysium. And I created the Organon. And then, when I was done, I started to have second thoughts. I stayed behind on Deponia to look for a better solution. I had all the time in the world, and I messed it up. I have run out of time. I cannot make up for what I have done. I thought that I had deserved to live with my guilt. But even that concept turned out to be overly optimistic, because where there is life, there is hope. So what I deserve is to die with my guilt.
Go on, then. What? Goal? Yes, but, goal?
mind-blowing events. Rufus is a clone? Holy smokes! You didn't expect that, did you? Yeah, we're right in the cloning lab, and curiously enough, we have the corresponding Simpsons episode running at this very moment. It's the one where Homer clones himself. Yeah, it's running in the background while recording. Yep. Very nice. Yeah, Joris put that on since we are expecting a show on this channel featuring our studio. Good things come in threes, they say. That's why we have 3 cloning pots here. Yeah, like that's the Holy Trinity. You always get 3 wishes, not 5 or 2. No, you get 3 wishes. There are the Holy 3 Kings. Yeah, and there are the Beastie Boys. And of course, body, mind, and soul. We also split Gold's personality in these 3 different parts. And 3 just has something about it. I don't know. Yeah, there's also that song from the Sesame Street. Or was it even a song? No, it was just some dialogue between Ernie and Bert. But Bert, nothing is with 5. Nope, his favorite number is 5, but everything comes in threes. 3. I tell you.
She's still dead. What did I expect? But Hermes was gonna do something about her. Don't tell me he was gonna... I really need to talk to him. It's not over till it's over.
A gorgeous screen showing you how to handle the cloning pot up close. A lot of switches to be handled here. I always like that when you have buttons and switches that all have a function. How does this or that work? Oh, just a sec. How does this work actually? I mean, you somehow ended up clicking my face, but looking at the screen, I wonder if I obscure the lamp in the upper left corner. Does my image obscure it? Probably not, since you couldn't solve the puzzle in that case. Or you would have to go down to the factory hall, as these lamps are connected to those downstairs. Guess I can tell you that without spoiling the puzzle. That means they always show the same condition, and that's the tricky part when it comes to scripting. I did a dummy script of this room. Don't know if I mentioned this, but there's a complete dummy version of Goodbye Deponia done by me. Almost 100% playable, with dummy backgrounds, doodled in a poor Edna style, so I would have a reference to check if all puzzles work as intended. And I always said, oh, please don't change that. Leave it like it is. The logic works perfectly fine, but eventually some mistakes were found and had to be taken care of accordingly. Thus, all had to be done again from scratch, since scripting is easiest then. Thing is, after rebuilding, we still had the same old errors in there, since the scripter built just the same stuff again. One of our often used tropes during development was, but it did work before. The screen reminds me of that, especially the lamp you can't see, cause my visage is in the way. At least if Simon didn't take care of that.
This gauge is different. I wonder what it means. But as long as it's green, I'm sure it's just fine. If I read these gauges right, they indicate the fill level of the machine. I guess this symbol means carbohydrates. So that means the tank doesn't have enough carbohydrates. This symbol seems to stand for water. So that means the tank doesn't contain enough water. I guess this symbol means carbohydrates. So that means the tank doesn't contain enough protein. This symbol seems to stand for fat. So that means the tank doesn't have enough fat. No way! I'm unique, more or less. Wait! Stop!
It's too late, Rufus. You are right. There is no more hope.
No! Oh, crap. What do I do now? Quitting time is for quitters. This is where the tank is filled, and the gauges over there show the levels for the various components. Looks like I'm gonna have to follow a recipe for once. What's that popular saying? Beggars can't be choosers? Ha! I knew it. The protein gauge has risen, and so has the one for carbohydrates. Looks like they were roach eggs after all. I don't know. Here goes nothing. Huh. The oil seems to count as fat. Lucky guess. Nah, I should save the oil. There's not enough fat to reconstruct gold. Whoops. Hope nobody tells her I said that. I don't know. This seems a little off to me. Yeah, I knew something was wrong with that stuff. The gauge for minerals rose along with the water gauge. Who cares? I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Nah, I should save the oil. There's not enough fat to reconstruct gold. Whoops. Hope nobody tells her I said that. Someone's been doing some serious overtime. The shift started so long ago, the holes have closed up.
In a chapter dealing with life and death and the things philosophically implied, you also need crows, of course. There are, however, no crows on Deponia. I told you there were a lot of critters, but there are no crows. And what's better to take their place than vampire platypuses? An obvious choice, if you ask me. How the strange hatchling with a head got in there, well, I don't even dare to guess.
Oh no, not this again. A vampire platypus? I've never encountered one of those before. Okay now, take it easy. Can you punch this for me? Thanks.
Congratulations! You set a new overtime record. To keep the memory of this grand moment forever fresh in your mind, you receive an amazing bonus, garlic. For garlic helps you remember, especially in old age. And judging by your overtime, you must be as ancient as the hills. Enjoy your well-deserved leisure time.
Not a chance. It's totally rusted shut. It's just one obstacle after another. There we go! It actually worked! This is incredible! Could it be that I have just discovered a way to make use of olives? An explosion of exquisite flavors. Ancient fryer grease. McGreasy XXL. My favorite brand. The only fries that don't fall out of Bozo's nostrils. Good thing salt doesn't come with a use-by date. Otherwise, this rust-red color might make me think twice. Swillow Fizz. This used to be my favorite soda. I always liked how they made it glow in the dark. And it still glows when you pee. Oh, ho, ho. This is gonna be so yummy. The essential building blocks of life itself. You know what they say, you are what you eat. Salt, the spice of life. Ah, Swillow Fizz, an essential nutritional staple. There were months when I lived on nothing else. Get serious. I need the components of life, not a fancy salad. Hey, little one, are you hungry? Actually, never mind. Eat this. Adorable. It looks cute, but its breath stinks. Okay now, take it easy. And here's some more protein. Good thing there isn't a gauge for cholesterol. The tank contains enough water for 3 clones. Stop!
Hey, what are you doing? Wait for me? Oh, damn it.
Oh, the irony. He took away my respect for life, and I kicked his butt.
You said so yourself. All is lost.
That's what I thought, but then I found gold. What were you planning? Can she be saved?
Oh, you know the girl? She fell from the sky shortly after you. There was a spark of life left in her brain. The rest was pretty much smashed up, so I created a clone, which survived long enough for me to perform a complete scan. Here, your lady friend can be cloned with this. Even though I have no idea what good it would do. Deponia is lost.
Just leave that to me. Oh, the irony. He took away my respect for life, and I kicked his butt.
First, you were Mr. Negative, and now it's me. Did you notice how we just switched roles?
So just don't screw it up.
First, you were Mr. Negative, and now it's me. Did you notice how we just switched roles?
So just don't screw it up. I have the cartridge with her full body scan. It's not over till it's over. It fits like a French fry up a nose. No image, no sound. Guess that's because some ingredients are still missing. The gauge has started to blink. Does that mean anything? Who cares? I'm sure nothing bad will happen. All right, and in you go. I'm gonna save you, Goal. What's happening now? Something's going wrong.
What are you doing?
One guess. I'm saving Goal.
But this won't work. There's no nucleic acid left in the machine.
So what? It worked for you.
Quick, abort the process. The pipes are overheating. The whole thing's about to blow.
No! Goal? Is that you?
She failed to mature properly. That's because of the nucleic acid.
Where is she now?
That pipe leads into the sewers under Port Fisca. I'm so sorry, Rufus, but it looks like your girlfriend is lost forever now.
No, she's alive. I can still save her.
You know, I've still got some nucleic acid left. In theory, you could still use it to mature her. But what about Deponia? The last high boat could take off for Elysium at any moment. You cannot save Goal and reach the Ascension Customs at the same time. And even if you could, the Upper Ascension Station houses the Organons' headquarters. You'll never make it in there by yourself.
But I'm not just by myself. My resistance friends are in Port Fisca. I'll get them to distract the Organon, while Goal and I sneak onto the high boat.
And who's going to let them know? Who will save Goal? And who will prevent Argus from leaving on the high boat in the meantime? You can't do it all. There isn't enough time for that. There would have to be 3 of you. And even if you could,
Are you sure you really want to go through with this?
there isn't enough biomass left in the chamber for 3 clones. This way, at least I can serve one final purpose.
You're the ultimate cool guy, Hermes.
Let's not get sentimental. Have you got the nucleic acid?
Nucleic acid? Check.
Very good. Remember, it won't be cloned as well. Only one of the 3 of you will have it when the process is finished.
Don't worry, Hermes. I understood everything. You can rely on me.
I only hope your construction with the sandbags is going to work. If the lever isn't activated,
It's gonna work all right. It has to.
in that case, let's not lose any time. 3,
2, 1.
here we go!
Hey! It worked! Yep. What next? One of you 2 needs to gather the rebels for a surprise attack. You do it, huh? Why me? I'll head to the Organon headquarters and delay the high boat's launch. I said it first. No, I did. I'll go down to the sewers and rescue Goal. But that's my job. No, it's mine. I'll rescue Goal. I've got the nucleic acid. No, I've got it. But Hermes gave it to me. Why don't we have a look?
Wooha! Now that's something. You just tripled Rufus and can now enjoy to control 3 different Rufuses. Rufy, so to speak. Rufues? Rufy. No, wait, should be Rufy, right? After all, it's not Rufus. So Rufus, Rufy, Rufum, Rufy, Ruforum, Rufy. Ruf is right. Anyway, dear kids, in front of the screen, please don't rebuild this set at home. Otherwise, your mommy and daddy will be really upset if your place is crawling with all those Rufies. You gotta admit, though, that Rufus is your trickster archetype, isn't he? And now we are in for another trip to drama theory. All this is actually in line with several dramas, even with those from thousands of years ago. Duplication has a long history in classical drama, and in fact it happens mostly to trickster characters, like, for example, the Harlequin. He's not a comedic role in a strict sense, but rather a very tragic one. Ruffian role, you might say, and in his theatrical role he also had the ability to duplicate. And don't you get that confused with duplication the way they do it in Enterprise. Captain Kirk gets duplicated in various adventures, of course. Movie number 6, The Undiscovered Country, if I'm not mistaken, even had 3, didn't it? Back then, I always imagined what would happen if you shove all of those Kirk doppelgangers into one room, what they potentially would do and all that. Of course, they're of different age and varying degrees of overweight. especially varying degrees of overweight, of course. But I digress. Kirk is not a classical trickster character, so you might ask, what's the cultural historic meaning of a duplicated Kirk? Weird thing, that duplication.
One of those two half-wits has got the nucleic acid, but which one? Oh man, I wish I could look right through them somehow. Like by means of a cool new interface element at the lower edge of the screen. One of those two half-wits has got the nucleic acid, but which one? One of those two half-wits has got the nucleic acid, but which one? Hey, I knew it! I'm the one with the nucleic acid, so I'm the one who gets to save Go! I knew it! I guess this means I'll get to save Go. Not so fast. Hey! Hey! Ugh!
Wow, Rufus a clone? Wow, well, what do you know now? That's mind-boggling news, but I'm sure you can cope. Just put on your slickers and hitch up your knickers, for once more there flickers a speckle of hope. Well, things do look black, you need someone to check on the bulbs at the tunnels, and if by hap it turns out to be a cloning lab, you can prep for a quantum step. For 3 times the Rufus is 3 times the jab.
Huzzah! 3 times the crap!
No, damn it, it's jab! 3 times the jab! Oh, wow!
Go? Is that you? Man, it's dark here. Go. We have to be careful. Who knows what sort of dangerous beasts are lurking in the dark?
As you can see nothing. We've reached the 8th chapter. I think I've mentioned it before. I like dark rooms, especially if you can only see the eyes and you have to fumble around for a bit. That makes things way more exciting. I recommend highlighting the hotspots. It will save you a lot of trouble. But then again, fumbling your way out of this, going on a pixel hunt without seeing any pixels, is an enjoyable challenge of its own. Yeah, you probably noticed the new interface after the super happy fun slide. We already had that at the cloning machine. That also means you now get to test our new gameplay feature, switching between the 3 different roofie, that's the correct declination as I've just been informed, and explore at your leisure. You probably should do that to shed some light on this dark situation.
Her constant howling is putting us at risk. I have to get her to calm down somehow. Please be very, very quiet. After all, we must assume we're surrounded by evil, people-eating monsters. No, please, don't! Shh, 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 shh. Quiet, quiet.
Do you have a problem, Bozo dear?
No. Thank you, Mrs. Mook. Let the boy do his business in peace, woman!
Oh, I thought he needed help.
I'll manage. It's just...
You're afraid, aren't you, Sonny?
Yes. Of going party?
No. Of the end of the world, you moron!
No. It's just... it doesn't matter.
Don't even think about it! Yoo-hoo! You weren't expecting that, were you? Boy, you've really got a lot of... chic. Hey! It wasn't exactly pleasant for me, either. What an ass.
As a matter of fact, I'm not really directly from Hamburg. I'm from a small commuter town near Hamburg and technically from the premises of this little institution called Schleswig-Holstein. I'm from the suburbs, where the rural side of life is still intact and you have neighbors like the Mooks. In fact, we even had neighbors called the Mooks. Mook in German. I didn't even know them personally, but Mrs. Mook was said to be a very curious and talkative neighbor. She used to plant all kinds of gossip when she was at the doctor's office where the mother of my best friend worked. She lived in our street and also spread rumors about us, which went through the ears of my friend's mother to my friend and ultimately found my own ears. All done Chinese whisper style, even almost literally. In a small town, Chinese whispers are even more reliable than the whispers of actual Chinese people who lived in our street as well, because they didn't get the rumors right. And so you won't miss anything. We'll continue post-haste. Just one more thing. The name Mook is actually a reference to our neighbors. Yes. But as I never got to know them, I really don't know if I applied an accurate, fact-based behavior here regarding that one neighbor. However, you really have processed observations from reality on your screen. I'll keep you posted. Until then, enjoy the screen.
That is the upper ascension station, somewhere up there. The last high boat to Elysium is waiting. The city is in ruins, the world perishes. Whatever, just as long as the laundry gets dry. I'd make a great fireman. Epic water fights, fire production measures, and throwing cats out of trees at people in danger. Oh, yeah. Well, look at that! I landed right at the foot of the upper ascension station, the site of the Organon headquarters, and the berth of the last high boat to Elysium. I need to be careful from now on. Well, more careful than usual. This place is crawling with Organons. They're obviously withdrawing from the city. I wonder what they're planning. Maybe I can eavesdrop.
Move! Hurry it up! There are still some crates that are bound for Elysium. No, not that one. It's supposed to go to the 3rd intermediate level.
That is the upper ascension station, somewhere up there. The last high boat to Elysium is waiting. What a pity the Organon has their headquarters here of all places. What are the chances I can fight my way through the whole tower to Ascension Customs? 50-50? Yoo-hoo! Hello! Oh, rats. Nobody there.
Do, get it going on, do, get it going on. Here I have to say thank you once more to our wonderful Noni. I would never have dared to make contact with the acclaimed rapper Smudo. He's a German celebrity who voiced Cowboy Dodo in the original version. No, I probably wouldn't have dared. Fortunately, Noni is our marketing ace and community mother superior. You might already know her from Facebook. If you don't, then hurry up and like us on Facebook now, the Book of Faces, and start getting to know Noni yourself. One day she jumped into my office and had one of her crazy ideas about another topic which she wasn't really supposed to be working on. By the way, another of those ideas of her was a disco video we did as a teaser trailer for Deponia. Well, that day she jumped into my office and said, "Hey, Pokey, what about this? Whoop, whoop, whoop. We do Smudo. Yeah, you do a character in Deponia. How about it? Whoop, 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 whoop." Yeah, something like that. Sorry, it might have sounded a bit different, but that's the best version of Noni I can do. And then I said, "Oh, hey, Noni, Hey, wait, why am I doing a voice for me? I don't have to impersonate myself. I am myself. Anyway, I didn't think it was such a great idea, but when she actually came around with Smudo, I thought, oh, wow, that would indeed be cool. I've always been a big fan of his and his group, the Fanta 4, ever since. And actually, I still am. I usually don't like to say things like that, but I am a big fan. I was even at a concert here in Hamburg at the Docks where they played as Megafor with the Megalomaniacs together. They were mixing rap with metal. That series of concerts had the motto, dive, pig, dive du Sau, which was even written on the tickets. That meant that everybody could just climb onto the stage and stage dive into the audience. And if you climbed up there, you stood next to your idols and did your moves before jumping off the stage. I was up there when someone pushed Smudo and he fell off the stage without anyone in the audience being prepared to catch him. From my perspective, that looked quite funny, but I guess from Smudo's perspective, it kind of hurt. When we recorded for Deponia, I asked him about it. Of course, the whole thing was pretty exciting, and I guess a lot of my friends from back then would have been so jealous, because we all had been big fans. It was a real honor, and Smudo didn't hold it against me that I mentioned his involuntary dive. Now, to make myself feel important as well, I can share with you that originally I had a more complex text written for Cowboy Dodo. I knew it was too fast when I wrote it. I trained it for a long time and then received the layout from Finn and rapped on that. It all worked out pretty nice, but then Smoother insisted that we would use a track from one of his producers to rap with. I thought that was a bit sad, as I quite liked Finn's track, but Smoother had brought his own track, and of course, he's not just rapping on anything. He'll only rap on tracks from his homies. Fortunately, he's not saying homies, though. So he brought his beat and it was much faster. I tried to sell him my lyrics and tried to rap on his track. He said, yeah, well, that wasn't so good. So he changed the lyrics and we both sat together in front of the PC. Maybe you have seen the pictures on Facebook or something. So together we reduced the lyrics so good old Smootho could breathe a second here and there. That gave them more Smootho spirit and Smootho style, but I have to say I rapped it pretty well. I was able to do the fast beat. I could have pulled my version off using his track. Yeah, he couldn't. So that's true. I hope he never hears this.
The entire Organon is withdrawing to the headquarters. It'll be difficult to sneak in there undetected. Bozo's neighborhood has really seen better days. The part that's still standing is brittle and on the verge of collapse, and the part that's sitting is hard to recognize behind the newspaper. May I bother you for a moment?
Huh? Oh, look, Luke! It's Baby Bozo!
Nonsense, woman! That's not Baby Bozo! It's just a stray hobo!
Is it now? So why do I think it's Baby Bozo?
Because you're old and senile.
Excuse me? I hate to interrupt you, but, I'm not a hobo.
See, Luke? I told you he's not a hobo!
So, back then, you also said it's not gangrene. We could have saved that leg, you know. Poor Timmy.
What are you doing here in the middle of a war zone? Don't you know what's going on around you?
Are you still talking to that hobo woman?
I'll talk to whoever I please.
What does he want?
He wants to know what's going on here.
Well, tell him that nothing's happening here at all these days. At least not since the Organon retreated.
You can tell him that yourself. I'm not your secretary, you know.
Is that the Bozo family's house over there?
Why? Isn't this one good enough for you? It may have suffered a little grenade damage here and there, but it's still our home.
Calm yourself, Mook. He's asking about the Bozos.
Well, in that case, he's wrong here. They live next door.
Do you know what's up with Bozo?
Oh, so you're a friend of Bozo's?
Nonsense, woman. Bozo would never be friends with some random hobo. That's because, unlike you, he has a handful of brain cells left, even if he doesn't act a part at the moment.
He's depressed, Mook.
Oh, of course he is. He's got no job, no girlfriend. The world is coming to an end.
He does so have a girlfriend. Her name is Bambina, and she lives in the floating black market.
If she contradicts him as often as you do to me, I can surely understand why he moved back in with his folks.
Yeah, I'm looking for the resistance camp.
Tell him we're not buying anything.
The young man is looking for something, Mook.
And so he asks you of all people. You never know where you put anything.
At least I still have my manners.
Oh, if you really had any manners, you'd take care of your guest.
Oh, the hobo. I almost forgot about him.
Tell him that if he absolutely must go around panhandling, he should try the resistance instead. Their camp is just down the stairs and across the square after all. Those people at least know how to keep order.
Do you even get what I'm saying?
5, right?
Nonsense, woman. It's at least 7.
What do you know? You haven't got a clue what this is about.
Then why don't you ask your good buddy, the hobo? He seems to have an answer for everything.
Ah, rubbish! He's not even talking.
That's because you won't let him get a word in edgewise. Look, he's trying to say something. Again.
Do you even get what I'm saying?
5, right?
Nonsense, woman. It's at least 7.
What do you know? You haven't got a clue what this is about.
Then why don't you ask your good buddy, the hobo? He seems to have an answer for everything.
Ah, rubbish! He's not even talking.
That's because you won't let him get a word in edgewise. Look, he's trying to say something. Again.
Ah, just forget it. This is too crazy, even for me. I'm leaving.
You know, I think you were right, Moog. He was a hobo after all.
That's what I said, woman. But you never listen to me.
What is that? A gate? Somebody seems to be trying to keep me from contacting the rebels. I'm not putting up with that. Darn! I don't believe it.
Well, meta content after meta content, and this one leads us to a small anecdote about the burrito woman. I created her as a trap for a nationally renowned Let's Player. Yes, she's a Let's Player trap. I thought, let's prank my favorite Let's Player, cause if he enters a room and sees a chubby person behind a counter, he can't resist to say, "Oh my, what a sweet muffin." Yeah, that's basically the setup for my punchline, and the prestige will be revealed later on when a character comes into play that was voiced by this very Let's Player in the German version. Feel free to check that out on YouTube or any other video provider of your choice, how excellent my little prank played out. Of course, you have to understand German language. Though I was really nervous if that would work at all, since he was in the studio with us, and of course he knew parts of the text. And I thought, I gotta hold back with the directing, can't give any of it away. Yeah, but it still turned out great in the end, and this celebrity Let's Player walked right into my trap.
Whew. Curse it. Once more with feeling. She looks like a big extra large burrito herself, with a ground beef cream filling. Delicious. The city is in ruins, the world perishes. Whatever, just as long as the laundry gets dry. Bozo has a ninja in the family. How could he hide that from me? After all, it was a lot of work cutting the ninja detector out of that issue of Craftolino. I would look absolutely fabulous in this outfit, as long as nobody important is looking.
Hey-ya! Oh, look! Moog! Oh, that is so cute! Oh, Baby Bozo is playing with his cousin Alex's ninja outfit.
Nonsense, woman. That isn't Baby Bozo. It's a wandering hobo already.
Oh, you're right. Oh, I knew it was a mistake to cheat the competition at bingo?
Yeah, okay, one more time.
Hey-ya! Oh, look! Mook! Oh, baby Bozo is playing with his cousin Alex's ninja outfit.
Nonsense, woman. It's just that hobo again.
You think so? Well then, he's not getting a caffeine lollipop.
When this outfit grows up, it wants to be an astronaut, so it can keep up with the other two. Is that really necessary? All right.
Oh, look! Mook! Oh, there's baby Bozo! Well, baby Bozo, would you like another caffeine lollipop?
You shouldn't give the baby caffeine lollipops, woman. He'll just take off again.
All you ever do is complain, Mook. The child has to eat. How else will he get to be as big and strong as his brother?
Oh, heavens above. I certainly hope the baby Bozo doesn't take after that whiny good-for-nothing. He should take a lesson from his cousins instead. At least they've done something with their lives.
Don't listen to the nasty old man, sweetie. Here, you can have a caffeine lollipop from me.
Wow, that was humiliating and enlightening at the same time. Kind of like my school days. I knew there was a reason I dropped out after the second grade. That was even easier than taking candy from a baby, but only half as much fun. I'd make a great fireman. Epic water fights, fire production measures, and throwing cats out of trees at people in danger. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, one more time. Fire! Fire! I'm on my way! Wee 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 wee! Yeah!
Oh, look! Mook! Baby Bozo is playing with his cousin David's fireman's uniform.
Nonsense, woman. It's just that hobo again.
You think so? Well then, he's not getting a caffeine lollipop.